how you doing? Welcome to the LaDonna Raeh Show. I'm your host, LaDonna Raeh. Yeah. So today we are going to be talking to a special guest. She is more focused on the women's healing movement. I'm all about healing the women, okay? But you guys are important too, but it's not your turn today. All right, but I know it's Thursday. Everybody's looking forward to Friday. We've had a short week. So no complaining, okay? You brought in the new year on the 1st and you had that day off, hopefully so. And self-care is so important, but if you don't use it, you might lose it, right? So you can catch us each and every week on the LaDonna Raeh Show, which is happening on YouTube and on other streaming platforms. Just look up LaDonna Raeh Show, and that's RAEH. All right. Are you ready for our guest? Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our special guest, Elizabeth Correia. There they go. There they go.
Your energy. Oh my gosh. That is like, wow, you were born for this.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. It is so good to see you, Elizabeth, and in full color because we had, hey, guys, I'm not gonna play like we weren't a little bit late. We had some technical difficulties, but
Yes.
Elizabeth has a team over there.
Yeah.
They're like,
Allison came through.
I think she elbowed you a few times. Move, I got it.
She
I'm
did. She
joking.
did. She's like, I got it. Like, okay, just leave this with me. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay. I'm like, no, you're typing in, like, stop.
I'm over here calling tech support. I'm like, what's going on? And you're like, we fixed it. Oh.
Yes.
Bye,
Yeah,
tech
yeah.
support.
Yes.
Well, Elizabeth, welcome to the LaDonna Raeh Show. Happy to have you.
Happy to be here.
So tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about the who the Elizabeth Correia is.
Mother, woman, empowerment, lover, servant, kind, passionate. Um, yeah, that wraps it up
Oh my
outside
goodness.
of
And
the other titles.
the Miss America award goes to Elizabeth Correia. Yeah. It's always good to be able to, self-identify with those things. I heard you say, wow, mother, of course, lover. Wow, I never think to say that. And so many other things that we don't necessarily know when someone puts a mic in front of us and says, who are you? And you go,
Yeah.
nobody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I learned that, years ago, when you're introducing, I mean, we get into these spaces where we're asked to introduce ourselves, and
Hmm.
we usually start with things like, oh, I'm a mother, I'm divorced, I'm a single mother, I'm,
Hmm.
I'm a CEO, I'm this, I'm that, and it's, well, not, those are just kind of, titles, things we picked up along the way, but it's not really who we are. Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And sometimes that takes a little healing, right?
Yes.
Which brings me to what you're known for. Her Healing and Company pretty much
Yeah.
says a lot about the title itself, or the term tells me a lot. It's like I don't even think I
Hmm.
have to read about it. I already
Mm.
know where you're going with it. But I want
Yes.
you to, the importance of knowing how to heal in order to know who you are. I just want to
Mm.
hear more about the connection when it comes to your Her Healing Women's Network.
Mm. Yeah. So, her healing women's network, basically it's a transformative women's network dedicated to fostering mental, emotional, and physical well-being.
Hmm.
And the mission really is to empower women on their journey of healing through personal development, wellness, and obviously, or definitely, the strength of faith.
Hmm.
Because without that, there's nothing. I mean, where do you make it to, and how do you overcome and thrive without the power of faith.
Mm-hmm.
So the mission really behind it is to empower women worldwide, to elevate awareness by guiding them to rediscover and acknowledge their innate beauty and genuine self worth.
Mm-hmm.
And it was born out of pain. I
Yeah.
went from pain to passion to purpose and to ultimately to pay.
There's
But
a there's a lot
yeah,
that can come from pain. You know, some people try to make
yes.
you laugh and some people try to make you heal. So I see
Mm.
what side you're on.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
because I think that these things happen for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
They don't just happen because, oh, you've got bad luck, or, you're that's just supposed to be that's your destiny. Your destiny is to fail and to suffer. I
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that. And I will not give in to that.
Mm-hmm.
That's not something I'm not buying into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that when I looked at your website, which is elizabethcorreia.com, you
Hmm.
guys can go to Elizabeth Correia and her name will come up and you can look in the description on how to spell it. But I thought I was supposed to roll my R's. I was ready to say Correia. I couldn't do it. I could never do it, you know?
Korea.
Yes. It's just fun to roll those R's, but I just can't do it. But your website is it just I feel peaceful when I go. I'm looking at it right now and there's messages
Oh,
coming through
that's
my
so
phone.
beautiful because
Yeah.
that was my brand feeling. So, your
Mhm.
brand should is supposed to evoke a feeling in your readers, your viewers, your
Mhm.
followers, your subscribers, your clients, your customers. And that is one of the feelings that I was aiming for was
Mhm.
peaceful. And so for you to say when you went to the website you felt peaceful,
Yeah.
that's beautiful for to me.
Wow.
Thank you.
See?
Yeah, that's
And
beautiful.
it's also part of the branding. So when I come here, I feel like it's finally going to get worked on, whatever it is when I see this. Yeah.
Ooh, ooh, I love that. I want to hug you. That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
What are some testimonials that you have after working with individuals that have come to you? What are some of the
Mm.
things that they say when it's all kind of over?
Oh my gosh. In the most humble way. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
God. I'm like, that's a question I guess it gives me an opportunity to show off a little bit
Yeah.
in a
Okay.
very
Let's
humble
hear
way.
it. Let's hear it.
And I'm not good at that. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not good at that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, things like I'll say I'll just say one thing because it's what so many say and have
Mm-hmm.
said.
Mm-hmm.
You saved my life.
Oh, it's a big one.
Hmm.
That's a big
It
one.
is. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, how does that make you feel? Because earlier you said that when we said we mentioned that we had technical difficulties, and you mentioned you said the devil is busy, and people need to hear this word. What is it that the people need to hear?
Um. So I mean, let's use that as an example.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, when something like that happens, and I've encountered situations like that where whether I'm getting on a stage to speak and the microphones aren't working or the slideshow's not pulling up or you know
Mm-hmm.
some form of attack, I call it, okay? And it's like, okay, someone in the audience needs to hear this message, and the devil is busy. He is busy
Mm-hmm.
trying to prevent these people from coming into their breakthrough, right? From breaking through. And but in situations like that, it's like, no, 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 no. I see you, devil,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm no. We're gonna get the slideshow
Mm-hmm.
up. We're going to get the microphones working. And even if the microphones don't work, I am going to get up on stage and I will just raise my voice. Everyone's
Mm-hmm.
going to hear this message.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, and in the same breath, I will also say that, not everything is the devil. Okay, not you.
Yeah.
Sometimes we give him too much credit.
Yeah.
It's like you're in a toxic relationship and you're like, oh, the devil is trying to prevent us from being together, and it's God is saying, oh, really? Uh-uh. I'm trying to prevent you guys from being together. So you have to
Mm-hmm.
kind of discern, which is God and which is, the
The
forces or
other
the
that
evil.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
the other,
that
whatever you
that
want to
guy.
call it, or
Yeah.
him, right? Or whatever.
I call
You
him
have
an
to
excuse.
an excuse. There you go. Right? I like that. So you have to discern the difference between the two because it's not always the devil. And,
Mm-hmm.
so really no. But in this situation, um, I knew for sure. I was like, someone needs to hear this message.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever's happening is trying to prevent that, even if it's just one person from receiving this message,
Yeah.
really a message of healing and of hope.
Yeah. I want to kind of bring that out a little bit more because someone watching this may not know what that is. The word healing or
Mm,
heal can be overused because people feel like,
mm,
well, if I'm not broken and if I don't feel like I need heal, I'm straight. It's a new year. This is a fresh
mm,
start.
mm,
I think we need to dive deeper because at this is one of the many moments that you'll have to get people
mm,
on board with healing, so if I'm at home watching or on my, well, you can't be in your car watching and driving, please don't. um I
mm,
want to be able to look at
mm,
this and go, wait a minute, that's me. Maybe I need to look into
mm,
some woman healing, because we all
mm,
have baggage. The older we get, the more baggage we got. And some people knock it out of the park in their 20s. But the older we get, yeah, the
yes.
older we get, the more baggage we have. And that baggage is one thing, but dealing with it is another. It's you can't use the excuse, well, I'm 40. I've been through some things, and then
Mm,
lash out and not and have a lack of emotional intelligence because you didn't deal with that.
mm,
But a lot
yeah,
of times we don't deal
yeah.
with it because we feel obligated to just get over it. There's no such thing. Energy,
No.
and I don't even want to take over because I'm like, oh, I've just thought of something. Is it okay if I jump in and say this?
Yes.
Energy never goes away. It just
No.
changes form. So if you
Mm,
were mad, you're still mad until you do
yeah.
something with it. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
Yes.
I'm done.
Yes. Yeah. So when I think of healing, right, I mean, to put it as in as few words as possible, I think of healing is to be whole again
Mm-hmm.
or to be well, right? It's to be well again. And for some people, they have never felt well, but it's to be well, to feel whole, right? To put together those broken pieces, to feel good, right? And healing is painful, by the way. It takes a lot of work. It takes hard work.
Uh-oh, you
It's
might scare some people
easy.
away. You might scare some people
Oh,
away
oh
saying the
no,
word work.
it does. It's easy to tap out.
Mm-hmm.
That's easy. It's easy to curl up in a ball or to stay in bed and do nothing. It's easy to, stay away from the world and just be home and stay in your dark space and not communicate with anyone or really just or to be social or that's easy.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to do that.
Yeah.
Healing is painful,
Yeah. Ooh.
but the results in terms of what you learn about yourself and how good you start feeling about yourself is phenomenal.
Yeah. I agree.
To be well, to feel well is a beautiful, beautiful feeling. It's a beautiful feeling, right? It's you're developing a sense of personal wholeness. And that wholeness involves physical, mental, emotional, social, spiritual
Mm.
aspects of, human experience. It's
Yeah.
it's the whole, right? So when we say healing, it's not just, oh, I'm going to work out and I'm going to feel better. No, I'm going to read, I'm going to write, I'm going to learn, I'm going to take courses, I'm going to study. I'm going to feel better along the journey.
Mm.
It's a combination of so many little things that you have to do, but it's also not rushing it. You can't rush it. So even if you start with, I'm going to start reading one book a month on personal development, self help books, one book a month, because that's how I started. That's how I started. Or I'm going to start going to church, or
And
I'm
and
going
and
to,
actually, speaking of book,
yeah,
you
hmm,
have a book, right? And
yes,
it's called "If You Played
played
in
in my
My
playground.
Playground."
Hmm.
And I know you left off at church, but if you played in my playground, what does that
Hmm.
mean? I can only imagine.
What does the title mean? Oh man. So if you played in my playground, so when you think of the word playground, you think of, where kids go to play, where they have fun, where they're free, swinging on the banana bars and just having a good time with their friends. Um, my playground wasn't that kind of playground. So
Mm.
even when I was at the playground, swinging on the swings and going down the slide, I was I had to go home after the playground to where I was being, sexually, physically, mentally abused. And so, even though I was at the playground having fun with my friends, nobody knew what I was going home to, or no one knew what I was carrying, even when I got to the playground, what had just happened at home. And so
Did
the
you
playground,
when you were at the playground, did you forget for just a moment?
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I know that feeling. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I did. Yes,
Wow.
yeah.
It's like when it's getting close to time to go home
Oh,
and you get chills,
girl.
right?
Mm. Your back then, parents, you weren't, you couldn't go home until the lights came on. Well, I waited till the very last second of the lights
Oh,
coming
I was
on.
scared. I was
Yeah,
man.
I know. And it was like, I wish there were days, I'm sure you felt the same, where it was like, I wish I could run away from here
I was
and not go back
afraid.
home.
Yeah. Um, wow. So, do you do you recommend a self-assessment where someone can kind of identify that they are in need of healing? Because
Absolutely.
I,
Yes.
I would think that,
Hmm.
with what I talked about earlier, where some people may be in denial, first stage, and but how do I know that I need some healing?
Hmm. You get these just really I mean, it's not one thing, by the way.
Mhm.
It's not one thing. It's not one sign, right? It's a combination of a few things. And one, it's sadness.
Mhm.
No matter what's going on around you, you could be out having a blast with your girls, or you're with your partner and you're having a good time. And then you go in the shower and you just start crying, or you go to bed and you just feel sad and empty. Like, you're not, nothing is satisfying. You're like, no matter what I do, because usually we do all these things to keep
Mhm.
us busy, to prevent us from having to think about our brokenness, right? So,
Yeah.
if there's sadness, if there's anger,
Mm.
you're
Mhm.
quickly, you're triggered easily. The anger, also speaks to healing, the need for healing. Um, the number one thing for me, and that's not, I'm not speaking to everyone else, maybe this speaks to someone who's watching this right now, is
Mhm.
unforgiveness. If you have
Mhm.
any level or any form of unforgiveness in your heart, you need healing, period.
Mm.
Yeah.
So true. So true.
Yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
I know we only have a few minutes, but I really want people to know what is the takeaway? Like, what is it when someone comes to you for, the healing process, the book,
Mm.
the website, the retreat that
Mhm.
you're going to have,
Yeah.
what is the takeaway? And before you answer that, I want to go ahead and recognize Montgomery Black said, much love. I showed his comment earlier. Much love to
Oh,
you too, Montgomery. I wanted you to
yes.
know that he is loving you. Um,
Thank you.
and Danielle Tulik, I think I'm saying that right. She
Oh,
says,
yes.
so true, Lizzie.
Oh, she is such a beautiful, beautiful soul.
Aw.
Yes. Yes. Beautiful young woman who's, oh, she's just beautiful inside out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for that. Now, what is the takeaway? What do you want people to walk away with after, working with you, either through the book
Yeah.
or in person?
The takeaway is to, as hard as this is going to sound, especially for the mothers, because we get so busy being moms, we forget to be women.
Mm.
The takeaway is put yourself first.
Whoa. Whoa. You're
Yes.
asking too much.
Oh, I know. I know. So when you wake up in the morning, you know, it is, this is about me. I'm going to fuel myself. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to give myself just 1 hour. 1 hour. That's
Mm.
it. Just 1 hour. Now, whether that is broken into 10 minutes of reading, 10 minutes of prayer and meditation, 30 minutes of workout, 10, 15 minutes of a motivational audio podcast, that 1 hour is for you. And I promise, LaDonna, that one
Mhm.
hour is going to fuel you. It's like putting oil in a car, gas in a car. It's going to fuel you for everything else that you have to take on for the rest of that day. Some of you have lost, loved ones in your life. You've lost jobs, you've lost your home, you've lost a best friend. Whether you're going through a divorce, whatever it is, right? If you do not take that time to take care of you just for 1 hour,
Mm.
1 hour, books, journaling. I've got like 3 journals on my table right now. I'm reading, I'm listening to audios, I'm writing, I'm working out, I'm fighting for my healing. Because if I don't do any of this, I will die mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. The average man physically lives to 75, but
Mhm.
stopped living at 25.
Mm. And what? Began surviving?
Exactly. And some of us are just surviving.
Wow.
And what kind of what's that?
Yeah.
Right? So 1 hour. And if you say, I wake up at 6, I don't have that 1 hour. Well, wake up at 5.
Oh,
Read the 5 a.m. Club.
yeah.
It's one of the best books I've ever read.
Mhm.
Wake up at 5 and take that 1 hour for yourself. You know, we don't feel worthy of that
Mm.
because we're so busy serving everyone else and doing. We're great doers. We're
Yeah.
not being, we're doing.
Well, I get that. And, in closing, I just want to make everybody aware that you can go to Elizabeth Correia's website, and that is Elizabeth Correia, CORREIA.com, so that you can tap into her and connect and possibly get her book, have a consultation, be inspired just by the zen of the website. you know,
Aw.
it's just that way. But I want to thank you for being on the show, Elizabeth, and we are so happy to have you. You're welcome to come back anytime.
Thanks, LaDonna.
Yes. Have you subscribed to our channel?
I have, of course. Me?
Yeah, you.
Of course, come
Oh
on
my
now. Everyone
gosh.
else needs to too.
Yes, they do.
Yes,
Thank
of
you.
course I have. I did
Uh,
that way before, like
Thank you. Thank you. I
yes,
caught a
of
couple of
course.
people that were trying to do it on the show,
Oh,
but
come on. No, no. No, of course I have.
I
Yes.
appreciate it. Well, we got to get ready for Andy Williams Jr., who's running for president of 2024. He was supposed to start at 7:30 Central Standard Time. He's the one who told me to put the time zone on the flyer. So
Oh,
yeah. I'm doing that from now on. My team is like, oh yeah, that part. But yeah, we're gonna do that. It was a pleasure having you, Elizabeth. And again,
thank
you're
you.
welcome to come back anytime. And I'm gonna get you out of here so I can get him on.
Okay. Ciao. Ciao. Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
Well, you know how we do, guys. It is such a pleasure having Elizabeth Correia. She is amazing. And she has a book that, you can probably use. So make sure you go to her website. It's scrolling at the bottom for 2, 3, no, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, it's out of there. Make sure you go to her website. Now, make sure you subscribe to the LaDonna Raeh Show. Don't forget to comment and share and forward and all that good. And support, all right? We're over 600 subscribers. We're trying to get up there and climb the mountain. Hey, let's do it. All right? More great shows coming your way. We are booked through January. All right. Talk to you next time in about 2 minutes, actually. Bye-bye for now. Meet a young man that's running for president 2024 election who is from Chicago. I'm talking about Andy Williams Jr. He's about to come on next. Bye-bye for now.